She said, "I like to hear success stories as they are made and not after they have been made." I couldn't agree more. I stood by the doorway, bidding goodbye to my friends when Wani remarked about having an office day on Monday. To which I replied, "Oh, I quit my job. Did I not tell you?" We had just returned from an early Saturday stroll at the beach. It had seemed like a great idea when it was suggested. A morning stroll at the beach. How wonderful! What a great way to begin the day. As we drove down, what seemed like a fantastic idea the night before suddenly didn't seem so anymore. The sky darkened, clouds rolled in, and droplets of rain began to fall. It was drizzling. I rolled up my window and pulled my loose jacket tighter over my dress, mechanically retrieving the scarf I had tucked into my bag earlier, out of habit. Wearing a dress, I was certainly not prepared for the cold. But I had lived in Cape Town long enough to know the weather was as unpredictable as a fox. I glanced at P, who was seated in the passenger seat. She was definitely going to freeze. No jacket, just a loose black dress. A beautiful dress nonetheless, but completely impractical for this weather. Wani must have checked the weather that morning. She had to. After all, it was her idea. Either that, or she had the good sense to be a true Cape Townian, stepping out armed with a jacket, hoodie, scarf, umbrella, sunscreen, all at once. Dressing for Cape Town's weather is like living on the edge. It reminds me of a chair dance. You never know when the music will stop, what direction the team will rotate, or who will even get the chair. You're likely to get caught off guard. I sighed softly and watched the weather unfold. I might as well just enjoy the ride. It was a 20-minute drive, perfect for a lazy Saturday morning. As we pulled into the parking lot, the place was packed. Some people were changing in the trunks of their cars. The beach was crawling with surfers. Were we experiencing the same weather? Reluctantly, I left the cozy warmth of the car. Despite the cold, it actually felt good to stroll along the beach, letting the wind propel us forward. The stormy sky, the birds frolicking above, the ocean stretching endlessly with a mountain backdrop, it all felt like a scene from one of my many childhood novels. I loved it. The ocean air filled my lungs. Tugging my scarf tighter around my neck, I stretched out my hands and ran, gliding with the wind, dodging the occasional sweep of water as the waves licked the shore. From time to time, P screamed, making Wani and me laugh. Though cold, P couldn't resist the water. Her little Pisces heart drew her in. She would inch forward for a dip, only to yelp at the icy touch. She amused me. We talked, laughed, gazed at the ocean, took pictures, made short videos, and even caught up on the latest in American politics. There was no escaping it. Wani could never resist the urge. We had even threatened her with a 20 fine and a jar penalty for bringing it up again. It didn't stick. As the cold became unbearable, we decided it was time to leave. We walked toward Wani's car but got sidetracked by a bookstore across the tracks. The street was cozy, lined with boutique shops and cafes. I made a conscious decision to stay out of the boutiques. No need to torture myself. I drew close to the bookstore. Paper Moon. The name was captivating, familiar even. Then I remembered I had one just up my street. I had never been inside but always wondered about it whenever I drove past. I felt refreshed, relaxed, and that is how we made it to this point. I like to hear success stories as they are made and not after they have been made. Wani's statement brought me back to the moment. Yes, me too, I thought. Wani's statement had had an effect on me that morning and strengthened my resolve to step forward. She had a point, and I suppose it is because it feels more relatable when captured in the moments. Now, why do I suddenly think I'm about to be successful just because I quit my job? I think it's less about the action itself and more about the courage it took to do so. I felt fearless. The world seemed ready to open up to me. Of course, I don't expect it to happen overnight. But this is the journey, one of realizing, receiving, and exploring all that the world has to offer. In my personal dictionary, at least for now, that is my definition of success. If this resonates with you, stick around. And who knows, you might get to share your own story along the way. Welcome aboard to Frenchy's hostile takeover, or as I like to call it, our very own tinkering growth. I won't pretend to have life all figured out. In fact, that's the purpose of this VB-log, to figure it out as I go, brainstorming with you, testing things out, and reporting back. I have always wondered why I'm so eager to share my thoughts and ideas. I finally understand. It's because I only truly learn when I am intentional about something. Some people operate differently. I have two simple examples to back this up. First, my friend P. We could take the same route over and over again, yet send me on that journey alone, and I'd get lost. P takes it once and instantly becomes a walking GPS. She could be deep in conversation, glance at the driver, and say, "Oh, that's the wrong turn." And I'd go, "Really?" She memorizes things unconsciously. It's a gift. I know, it annoys me too. Just kidding. Second, my friend M. I like to think of him as the human eye scanner. He instantly replicates anything he sees. One day, we were deep in conversation in my kitchen. I swiftly opened the fridge to grab milk, closing it just as quickly. Less than a second. I noticed a smile on MS' face. "What?" I asked. "Nothing. Can't I smile for no reason?" His smile widened. 2 minutes later, he said, "I saw you have yogurt in the fridge. I love that brand." Not only had he managed to spot a tub of yogurt hidden behind stacks of Tupperware in a busy fridge, but he also recognized the brand. I was impressed. If you fall into either of these categories, know that you are gifted. For those of you out there with the luxury of such gifts, I guess this piece is not for you. Or maybe it could be. It could be an opportunity for you to see how you can assist the many miss around you. It is because I came to know this of myself that I began to deliberately share my knowledge with people around me. Sometimes I tend to get personally invested and follow up with the process. As such, for those of us who require deliberate focus, this piece is for you. So why do I write? I write for the many Ms out there who, like myself, need their attention to be drawn and quartered. I write to draw attention to what needs to be learned. I believe mindfulness is a powerful tool. By cultivating focus, we can filter out distractions and achieve our goals. So why do I write? To let loose the thoughts running amok in my mind. To free the bountiful ideas with great potential. To avoid spending hours explaining my thoughts to people who may not understand. To find freedom in my imagination. To explore the world and embrace the wonders of life. I write so I can bask in the euphoria of new adventure and what could possibly be. I write for you, to free you from your burden by showing you a tested way. Most importantly, I write for my very own becoming. If you've ever felt the pull to take a leap of faith, challenge the norms, or embark on your own personal evolution, this video is for you. If this sounds like a journey you'd like to take with me, join me. Like and subscribe to this channel. This is my story, Frenchy's Tinkering Growth.